So, it's the day of competition and you make it to the venue. You can feel your heart starting to race. Your muscles are starting to tense. Your adrenaline is through the roof. Your senses of vision and hearing are amplified. You start noticing everything quite intensely. And for most people, this can be extremely uncomfortable. But let me ask you this. Are you experiencing anxiety, or are these symptoms a sign of excitement? And the answer is, it depends. It depends on whether you view these sensations as beneficial or detrimental to performance. Our brains are essentially hardwired to always notice the bad things first. So it always takes conscious effort and conscious action to notice any positives. And one of the key differences between non-elite performers and elite performers is that the elite view these experiences as being facilitative to their performance. So rather than use relaxation techniques to reduce the intensity of these feelings, the elite will try as much as possible to maintain this intensity by adopting a combination of psychological and behavioral skills to help them interpret these symptoms as beneficial. And the most common theme across the literature regarding these observed differences in symptom interpretation across skill level is one key factor, and that is self-confidence. Self-confidence actually accounts for up to 24% of the variation in sports performance. It is a big deal, okay? So, as an athlete, building our self-confidence is priority number one, and it's king. So what do we do? Firstly, just be aware that the symptoms that you're experiencing are very normal to experience on competition day, or really any task where performance is being evaluated. The things that elite performers are doing are actually quite simple, and anyone can adopt these strategies right away to make a difference and increase their chance of success. So one of the things they do is they change their body language. So even when we don't feel confident, holding confident body language, or what they call a high power pose, will actually boost our chance of success. And it does so in two ways. One, it boosts testosterone, which is our dominance hormone. And two, it decreases cortisol, which is our stress hormone. And actually, one of those studies have shown that within just 2 minutes of being in a high power pose and holding confident body language, subjects experienced up to a 25% decrease in cortisol and 20% increase in testosterone. So it's a quite significant deal just to maintain confident body language. Okay, it's something very simple that we can do. And what does that look like on comp day? Okay, so you're about to attempt your third deadlift, okay? And you're not feeling it, you're tired, you're unsure of yourself. You notice that you're sitting down, you're slouching, you might be in a corner somewhere listening to music, and when other people look at you, they can see that you're not quite sure of yourself. Okay, and that's key here. You want to look like you are the most confident person in the room, even if you don't feel like it. Everybody should notice. So stand up tall, start pacing back and forth, keep your chest up. Look like when you walk into the platform that you've already gotten the weight. You know it's within your capability. You don't need anyone to amp you up. You don't need to psych up, you don't need to scream. You know you've got the lift in the bag. And That's key here. You have to look like you already own it. Okay, so that's number one. Some of the other things you can do, one of the most popular techniques is an imagery technique, visualization. So Michael Phelps, who we all know is one of the greatest athletes of all time, multiple-time gold medalist, he would specifically rehearse every single aspect of competition from the moment he stepped in until he was actually on the podium. And he would rehearse this every single night when he went to bed and every morning when he woke up. And this is just a method to boost our feelings of preparedness and therefore increase self-confidence. And then lastly, we can use verbal persuasion techniques, otherwise known as self-talk. The research specifically shows that motivational self-talk is a lot more beneficial to performance than instructional self-talk. So when you're heading onto the platform for your final deadlift, rather than trying to cue yourself, oh, lats tight, keep the bar close to you, etc., etc., what you need to focus on is what you need to tell yourself is, you are ready for this and you've trained for this, you are prepared, and you will execute. You will get those 3 white lights. You will make it convincing. Okay, anything that will boost your morale or your motivation, that is what you want to be doing on comp day. And that's that. It is literally that simple. These are things that really separate the elite from the non-elite, and they are just things you can implement right away that will make a difference. I think all of us are aware that on comp day we can tell who's nervous. They sit in the corner, they're trying to close their eyes, do some deep breathing. And as I said, this is a more low-level technique for the non-elite who will not really perform at the highest level. The difference here is that the elite understand that all these experiences, however uncomfortable they may be, are actually useful and beneficial to performing at the highest level. So that's just something you need to realize. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to shout out. And good luck in your next competition.